The Titanic, a name that evokes grandeur, tragedy, and mystery. But did you know that a chilling coincidence foreshadowed its fate 14 years before it even set sail? Stick around, because we'll reveal this eerie prediction at the end. But first, here are 35 fascinating facts about the most infamous ship in history. The birth of a legend. Fact 1. The Titanic was part of the Olympic-class trio of luxury liners built by the White Star Line, alongside the Olympic and Britannic. Fact 2. It was built in Belfast, Ireland, by the Harland and Wolff shipyard and took over 2 years to complete. Fact 3. At 882 feet long, the Titanic was the largest ship in the world at the time, nearly 4 city blocks in length. Fact 4. The ship was designed to be unsinkable, not because it was invincible, but because its compartmentalized hull was supposed to keep it afloat even if multiple sections flooded. Fact 5. Titanic's construction cost was around $7.5 million in 1912, equivalent to over $250 million today. The maiden voyage. Fact 6. Titanic set sail from Southampton, England on April 10, 1912, stopping in Cherbourg, France and Queenstown, now Cove, Ireland, before heading across the Atlantic. Fact 7. On board were around 2,224 passengers and crew, but despite its massive size, the ship was only 70% full due to a coal strike. Fact 8. The wealthiest passenger was John Jacob Astor IV, a billionaire businessman worth $87 million at the time, about $2.7 billion today. Fact 9. Among the passengers was a man who survived an earlier ship disaster, Arthur Rostron, captain of the Carpathia, the ship that later rescued Titanic's survivors. Fact 10. Titanic had a gym, a Turkish bath, and even a squash court, making it one of the most luxurious ships of its era. The collision and sinking Sact 11. On the night of April 14, 1912, the Titanic was traveling at 22.5 knots, near top speed, despite multiple iceberg warnings. Fact 12. At 11:40 p.m., lookouts spotted an iceberg. But it was too late. The ship scraped its starboard side, causing fatal damage. Fact 13. The Titanic sank in under 3 hours, finally disappearing beneath the waves at 2:20 a.m. on April 15th. Fact 14. Despite having lifeboats for only 1,178 people, many were launched half-empty due to panic and confusion. Fact 15. One of the last messages sent from Titanic was a desperate plea. "We are sinking fast. Cannot last much longer." Survivors and rescue. Fact 16. Only 710 people survived, meaning over 1,500 souls were lost in the freezing Atlantic. Fact 17. The Carpathia reached the site nearly 2 hours after Titanic sank, rescuing the lifeboat survivors. Fact 18. Among the survivors was the unsinkable Molly Brown, who took charge in a lifeboat and later raised funds for struggling survivors. Fact 19. Another survivor, Charles Jokin, the ship's baker, survived in the freezing water for 2 hours, possibly because he had been drinking whiskey. Fact 20. One of the youngest survivors, 2-month-old Milvina Dean, lived until 2009, becoming the last remaining Titanic survivor. Titanic's legacy. 21. The wreck was undiscovered for 73 years, until Robert Ballard and his team located it in 1985, over 12,000 feet deep. Fact 22. Titanic's remains are rapidly disintegrating due to rust-eating bacteria, meaning it may vanish completely within decades. Fact 23. Many myths surround the Titanic, including the belief that the ship's band played Nearer My God to Thee as it sank, though this is debated. Fact 24. The 1997 James Cameron film Titanic cost over $200 million to make, far more than the ship itself. Fact 25. Some rare artifacts recovered from the wreck have been sold for millions of dollars at auctions. Unbelievable Titanic coincidences. Fact 26. A ship very similar to Titanic, called the Olympic, had an eerily similar collision in 1911, but survived. Fact 27. The California, a nearby ship, could have saved more lives, but its radio operator had gone off duty for the night. Fact 28. Some Titanic crew members had previously worked on a ship that sank in the same waters years before. Fact 29. The Titanic's distress rockets were misinterpreted by a nearby ship as a party signal, leading to a delayed response. Fact 30. Titanic's lifeboats were never tested with full capacity. Had they been, they might have saved hundreds more lives. The shocking final fact. A prophetic warning. Fact 31. 14 years before Titanic sank, a book called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan, was published. It told the story of an unsinkable ship named Titan that struck an iceberg and sank. Fact 32. The book's details were eerily similar. The fictional Titan was almost the exact size of Titanic, carried too few lifeboats, and sank in April in the North Atlantic. Fact 33. Even more chilling, the book's author, Morgan Robertson, claimed he wrote it based on visions. Fact 34. After the Titanic disaster, people revisited the book and were stunned by the uncanny parallels. Fact 35. To this day, the eerie prediction of the Titan remains one of the greatest literary coincidences in history. Titanic's story is one of triumph, tragedy, and mystery. It continues to fascinate the world over a century later. Which fact amazed you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more mind-blowing historical discoveries. This outstanding video was crafted by VidWiz. Want your own standout videos like this for fun or profit? Click the link in the description to get started today.